Good morning, Gogglefrogs, and how are you this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you. And if you're joining us for the first time, this is Gogglefrogs. We go live 4 times a week. And I'm Angela. This is my lovely friend, Marion.
Hello.
And this is my lovely friend, Robert, as well.
Hello.
And they're both my lovely friends.
Ah, so you will, sorry, there is a chat box for you if you're watching us live, and you're going to be able to comment in the chat box. If it's the first time, let us know where you're from and get to know other people in the group. And if you're watching us on replay, you won't be able to see the chat box, but we will talk about what's in the chat box for you. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then exactly the same. But a big welcome if you're watching us live. Huge welcome if you're watching us on replay, and a huge welcome if you're watching us on YouTube, and that could be in 20 years time. Who knows when that will be. So hope you've all had a wonderful week, and this is your time to sit back, watch us, because we can't see you but you can see us. So I hope you've got a lovely cup of tea or a cup of coffee or water, whatever your tipple is. And I hope that you brought your knitting or your crochet. I've got mine here, so I've done a little bit. Yes, and I will continue with that as we chat. So what sort of a week
I've got my big project.
Oh, that looks lovely and colourful.
It does.
Yeah. I'm beginning to wish I'd never started it.
Oh, no.
No,
it'll be
it'll be fine.
beautiful.
It'll be fine.
And
It's
how's
something
your
I
week
pick up and
been?
put down.
Sorry?
It's something I pick up and put down.
Oh, fabulous.
When I've had enough of it, I'll find a nice shawl pattern or a jumper pattern, go off and do that.
Yeah,
And come back to it.
as we do.
As
So,
we do. Exactly.
Oops. Nearly missed the stitch. There we go. Easily covered. So should we say some good mornings?
I think that's an excellent idea.
I think it is, yes.
Are we going bottom to top? Well, we are at the bottom.
Absolutely.
As I've got to do a bit of counting, and you know me, I can't get past 6 without making a mistake.
Oh, so a lovely Saturday good morning, and I know some people have been really busy already getting washing done and all sorts. So I know that in the chat in the Facebook group you've already been posting stuff, so thank you ever so much. And the the Facebook group is Gogglefrogs Knit and Natter. So just apply to join. There's 3 questions that you need to answer. So a good morning to Marion, lovely to see you here.
Morning.
And a good morning to Louise.
Morning,
And
Louise.
good morning to Judy.
Morning.
Hello.
And good morning to Joe. Lovely to see you again.
Morning, Joe.
And good morning to Janice. Hello.
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 Good morning to Grace. Hello, Grace.
Hello.
Hi, Grace.
Good morning to Georgie.
Hi, Georgie.
Morning, Georgie.
Good morning to Denise.
Morning, Denise.
Good morning to Deborah.
Morning, Deborah.
Good morning to Dawn.
Morning, Dawn.
And good morning to Brigitte.
Morning, Brigitte.
May have joined, but I don't know if I've actually seen who they are, so sorry.
Is Mum watching, Angela?
No.
Ah.
Oh, what about your mum, Robert? Has she joined us?
No, she's working. She works every Saturday morning.
Oh.
Have we seen Joe before?
I was just thinking that.
I thought that this was Joe.
Well, she's saying Angela's looking very glamorous.
Thank you. It is Joe. It's Joe who hasn't been with us for a few weeks. I'm
Jeannie.
sure that's
Jeannie. Yeah, Jeannie.
Joe.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I didn't recognise the email address, that was all.
Oh, don't worry. Yes. So lovely to see you, and I hope you're okay, Joe. Lovely of you to join us, and I hope that you can enjoy Saturday morning's knit. Oh dear, I've been lighting a fire this morning, and there's one thing I really struggle with. It's wood shavings. And after the old floor came up, Alan has cut all of the joists up, all of the floorboards up. So we're using that as wood on the fire. But on all of them, there's lots of wood dust, whatever you call it. So I picked up about 25 of them today and moved them to by the fire. So you can imagine, I've got so much dust. So yeah, I'm struggling a little bit today. So I don't have asthma, but certain things do affect me. So pollen.
We were told that you couldn't use old floorboards and that on fire because they'd been treated with certain chemicals or.
I don't think there were the chemicals back in the 1800s.
I wouldn't. They used arsenic on wallpaper, didn't they?
Yeah, there's all sorts, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's when I'm blinking things up that I have the problem. But it's a wood-fired thing, and we're in the middle of nowhere. So if anybody's watching on YouTube in 20 years' time, hopefully I'm still okay. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It's amazing how things change over the years, isn't it? And me saying about Victorians using stuff that we wouldn't dream of using today because of its poisonous content. But they're using what is it? Acrylic, which doesn't biodegrade, but arsenic, everything they did, or the majority of stuff they did biodegrade. So
yeah.
Funny old world, isn't it?
Things always change. That's the only thing that we can guarantee, that things will change and not stay the same. But yeah, so we, but you know, we put our underfloor wool fleece insulation in.
Yeah.
I have to say, the house is so much warmer.
Oh, that's good.
Much warmer. So it really does work. So an absolute thumbs up to the British wool industry for the insulation that's now under our floor. So we really are enjoying it. And yeah, it's getting to the point where when you have an old house, they never get warm. But I do find myself totally overwhelmed with the heat in that room. So that's really good, because we've never had that before. It's always been quite drafty. So brilliant stuff.
Oh, Richard said to remind you that yes, you can use our loft because it is fully boarded for your wool stock whilst Alan's putting his bar in.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mind you, the stairs up there there is a light up there. There are stairs up to it.
Oh, fabulous.
It is boarded.
That would be brilliant. Oh my word. Yeah, so we'd have to, and that means that I can't tell Alan either. So he thinks suddenly something's just disappeared. And then after everything's done, it just reappears.
No, well, I've had it for years for you, hadn't I? I've even bought it for you. That's been known to happen.
Yeah, because, and just to explain to anybody who's not aware, the next project in our house is our garage, and the part of the garage, the office part, is just full of my wool, my books, my bikes, everything. But it's going to get converted into part office, and then there's going to be a bar area as well. So Alan has his own with no wool. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to move things and sort things out. So Marion has very kindly offered to give me a temporary home for my stash, which is, I know it was over 500 balls, and I have no idea what it is now. But I've used a couple of those balls, but I've probably bought more as well, so it doesn't really work out. I did make a little bit of a commitment. I couldn't buy another ball unless I'd used 10. I don't think I've stuck to that.
I don't think you have either.
No.
I thought if I used that one big ball, like a large ball of Arran, that whilst it was only one ball, it was equivalent to sort of 10 smaller balls. So you could feel a little bit more righteous about it.
I
And then
totally
thought,
agree
well,
with
I've got
that.
this crate by the side of me full of oldie 100-gram balls of DK, which is what this blanket is being made out of. I thought, might look better if that crate disappears. So the crate is, well, it's not disappearing, but the height of yarn in it is gradually going.
Well, that's good. That is really
Yeah.
good.
Now, the trouble is, this large thing is only square 2 of about 6, so I've got 4 more to do. So it's going to cover a king size bed again, unless I have enough and say, right, I'll do something else to it and just make it into a double, and it can go on the spare bedroom bed. Spare bedroom bed. Does that make sense? Spare bedroom bed. Yeah.
It
Oh,
does.
music.
Right, shall we catch up on chat?
Yes.
So Brigitte says, good morning, peeps. Episode 155.
I totally forgot.
Deborah says, morning all. Judy says, morning, everybody. Grace says, morning, everyone. Georgie says, morning. Dawn says, morning all. Denise says, good morning all. Joe says, hello. Georgie says, Angela, did you ever find your Gogglefrog scarf?
No, I didn't. And I think what happened, just as we were going into this lockdown, I flew up to my parents on the Sunday, arrived, packed the car up with my mum's stuff and my mum. And I think as I've arrived there, because theirs is a really warm house, I probably put the scarf down on one of the settees or one of the chairs, and I haven't picked it up. So I think it's in Leeds. So I won't actually find it for at least another 3 weeks.
And let's hope and pray.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's up there. I'm sure it's one of those things that I know I'll have put it down, or maybe I put it in a little bag that's up there. So I will let you know if and when I find it, but I'm sure it's up there. Because I think I did wear that outfit to go up there, and I couldn't have done all of that. If you can imagine running up and down three flights of stairs, like the kitchen's downstairs, cleaning a fridge out, doing everything. I wouldn't have been able to do that with that scarf, and so I think that's what's probably happened. I hope so.
Louise says, good morning, everybody. Joe says, you're looking very glamorous, Angela. There's a long story behind her email address. There's a long story behind her email address.
Oh, right, okay.
And she says, at least we know your lungs won't get wormwood, Angela. Tracy says, good morning, all. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning.
Brigitte says they used Bry nylon to make children's night dresses.
Absolute so dangerous. It used to melt when it got hot, and then it would stick to your skin. And oh my God, it was
the number of times I stood in front of the fire and came away, and suddenly I had this sheet of plastic rather than a normal night dress. Never stuck to me, thankfully, but that was weird stuff.
Yeah,
dangerous.
Very dangerous.
She remembers though her and her sisters used to lift the Brylon nighties up and down super fast in the dark to make them spark.
Yeah.
And then Brigitte says, at Joe, LOL. Linda says, morning, everyone on this great old morning. At least it's warm. Good morning, Linda. Deborah says, good luck with moving, sorting your stash, Angela. And Georgie says, Angela, I'll keep my fingers crossed it's there. Yeah. Linda says that at Brigitte, and then they had Bry nylon sheets. Not much fun on your honeymoon.
Hilarious.
And then Janice says, wet and windy here in London, so perfect for sitting and knitting. Good.
We had some dry nylon sheets. They were awful.
I tell you which sheets I love, and I still have. I still have the flannelettes, and my husband hates them. But in winter, when it's cold, there's nothing better than flannelette sheets. And the other ones I remember, but I don't have now. They used to be stretchy terry toweling bottom sheets.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they are. I've never seen them since, but they were about this big, and they stretched to a king size bed practically. They were hilarious.
I have my favourite sheets are my linen ones, which I got at an antique fair, and they go on in the summer and the summer alone because they're so cold when you get into bed. But
Oh,
otherwise,
wow.
we've got some Egyptian cotton ones, which I like a lot.
We have to have the Egyptian cotton ones.
Yeah.
They're the really, really, really expensive ones that are fine. I do actually like the fact that you don't really have to iron them.
Yes.
So
That's a big plus.
Who the hell irons bedding?
me,
No. Why?
I iron all
Yes,
bedding.
bedding. No.
You're just going to get in it and make it messy anyway. So what's the point?
I
iron
still agree, Robert.
I iron towels.
What?
No.
I iron
What?
towels.
Well, you're wasting time. You could be knitting.
I still believe my philosophy of ironing is the best, although it did bite me in the bum yesterday or the day before. And that is that you literally don't iron unless you know you need to wear it. So my work shirts get ironed the night before. My t-shirts get ironed the day that I'm going to wear them. I don't iron jeans. I don't iron bedding, underwear.
You don't iron jeans.
Nope.
Even my stretchy jeans I iron.
Nope.
I iron leggings.
Nope. I put it away. I can't see the point in standing around for hours and hours and hours doing ironing to put it away again, for it to get creased while it's away, to then potentially not take it out for months or years anyway. So I just don't. I would rather flick the iron on for 3 or 4 minutes in the morning and do it very quickly.
And do you know what else I do? Because as you all know, we go on cruising holidays. Richard has dress shirts. I wash them when we get home. I fold them up, put them in the suitcase ready for next year, get on board ship, send them down to the laundry to be ironed. End of story. Yeah. I do not iron a dress shirt in a million years. It's worth every penny of the £2.20 they charge me. Oh no, because I think it's £2.20. Every penny. Bearing in mind he's now got 5 or 10 dress shirts. So no way on earth am I ironing a dress shirt.
I do that in hotels when I arrive. Well, I don't really do those holidays anymore. But when I do, the first thing that I do, if I'm going to be in that hotel for a few days, is send everything to be ironed. So I do.
And my evening dresses need to go to the dry cleaners in the main. So don't have to bother with them. I
think I'm in the minority here, but I do. Although my mum was lovely the other day, and she did quite a bit of ironing for me. So that was lovely. Really, really nice.
Brigitte says, Linda, I had some given, use them as a mattress cover only. Deborah says her skein of Frogs a Goggle arrived this morning.
Yay!
Hello. When did we post that? Tuesday? Oh, sorry.
That took a while.
The post is taking longer at the moment for some reason. I've noticed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my chow goose haven't arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda says, I don't blame you, Brigitte, awful things. Deborah says, Angela, flannelette sheets were very cozy. And then she says, Robert, I have to, and that's iron bedding. Jo says her sister even irons her pants.
I iron pants.
Dawn says, iron bedding, can't stand getting in on iron sheets. Georgie says, I do, Angela. There is nothing more snuggly than getting into a clean ironed bedding.
Silky bedding.
What's the point of having fitted sheets?
There's still a difference. You can feel the difference. Yeah.
Brigitte says, Angela, I agree with you. Fortunately, I was a child when the flannelette sheets and my night dresses were of said material. Re-ironing towels should never be ironed. I only iron the pillow slips. Dawn says, my mother-in-law used to iron Adrian's socks until he told her to stop. Do you know what? When I met Gary, his mother would iron everything. And I very quickly put a stop to that because one, she wasn't doing the ironing anymore, and two, I said, I'm not doing it. If you want it done, you do it yourself.
Totally agree with you, Robert.
Tracy says, Robert, totally agree with you. When Luke got a part-time job at Woburn Golf Club, I had to buy an iron for his uniform as couldn't remember what I'd done with the one we had. My mum irons everything, including my dad's hankies, pants, tea towels. I do iron hankies. Surprisingly, I do iron hankies. I don't know why. I just like having an ironed hanky when I use one. Dawn says, my nan was a chambermaid, so I live up to her standards. Even taught me how to do hospital corners. Wow.
Yeah, my mother-in-law taught me how to do hospital corners.
Deborah says, yes, she thought it would have been lost as she'd had the notification sent a while ago. And then Louise says, all hospital corners, I spent hours practicing them as a student nurse.
I was looking at them and I thought, really? Who is that person? I'd forgotten all about Gabrielle. So I might have
and
to
I'll tell
listen
you
to
what
her.
else it made me realise. So often you hear pop singers being yelled at from the crowd and you can't really hear their voices. In this song you can, and you think, wow, what a fantastic voice they've got. You know, the audience hasn't drowned them out.
Well, I'd play that version because it did say who was singing each line.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
So
brilliant choice, Robert, as always.
And I think, given that you know, with social distancing as it is, lots of people not being able to fundraise, and the fact that the show was only 3 hours last night because they couldn't get all of the specials in that they usually do, I think they did an amazing job. The total when they finished last night was £37 million.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's without all the other after stuff that usually comes in as well. So
yeah, they usually reckon to double it, don't they? By the time everything comes in.
That's amazing. Incredible.
Yeah, Tesco usually supports it. Is it Tesco's or Sainsbury's?
there's lots of people that usually do and just didn't.
Don't
So
seem to have done.
I mean, the partnership doesn't normally do anything for children in need, but we do always do poppies. But this year we said, because of social distancing, we wouldn't do poppies, but we made the donation of the equivalent of what we would normally raise.
That is so lovely.
And I think that's what lots of companies did for children in need as well. So
I hope so. I hope so. Because BT was a big supporter, wasn't it?
Quietly, isn't it? Behind the scenes, there's a lot of people that there's more comes from people who don't admit what they're doing. So I'm sure there's still lots of wonderful stuff going on from individuals, companies, etc. So that 30-odd million did not come from nowhere. So that's amazing. Well done. And thank you to all of you as well who've done whatever little bit you have done for children in need or any charity out there. Thank you so much. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's like they didn't realise how much George Michael had done for charity until he'd passed.
Yeah.
And it's still coming out now. Exactly what a very, very generous young man he was.
I know. Absolutely fabulous. So thank you to everybody. And do you know what? It's not all about money. Sometimes it's about a little bit that you can do. But it's called Children in Need. But you could be helping children all over with your time, with anything. So it's not just about the money. It's about the little actions and acts that you make. And every time you make a little knitted something or other and give it to your little local charity or give it to a hospital, that's all as good All right, so I know it's children in need, but thank you everyone, because I know you've all done things for
Every
charity.
time you make a child smile, you're doing something good.
Absolutely. So well done, thank you. And I just love seeing all the pictures of the little pudsies and all sorts that you've done. So yes, please keep on posting things like that for every charity, because they're lovely. They're so good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
Great. I'm
Going a little bit wrong.
slightly distracted. I haven't even done a stitch of knitting again yet, and it's past already.
You're joking. Almost. Where is the time gone?
I know. Oh, excuse me.
I'll tell you what did impress me, and that was how quickly Deborah got her craft room tidy and sorted.
That was unbelievable.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll see that in Facebook shortly, won't we?
Yeah.
Because she reposted the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's become a bit of a muddle again already.
Has it?
It's easily done, though, isn't it?
Oh,
You know, we were talking about the post. How I know the post is being slow. I placed a Ringtons order, and they told last weekend, just as we'd gone into lockdown, and they told me I didn't have a cat nails chance, basically, of getting it until next weekend. So there are no biscuits in this house until next weekend.
Oh dear.
I'll drop you some round.
No, there's all right. No, we can do without biscuits for a week. I'm sure we can manage.
No. You need biscuits. I'll drop something round.
No,
I'll just throw it in the garden for you.
Well, I gave in yesterday, and I brought Stollen. Normally, we only have Stollen at Christmas, but we're going to Gary's mum's today, and I wanted to take something nice, something that different that she might not have had before. So picked up a packet of Stollen, and then I realised that the reason why I picked it up was because it was on.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes, I picked it up because I realised it was on offer, and then I then next to it found the one that we'd been waiting to go on offer, the slightly more expensive one to treat ourselves with. So I have one of those as well.
I love Stollen. Richard dislikes it, so because I could quite cheerfully sit and eat it till it makes me sick, I don't buy it. But I do like it very much.
I normally buy it for hubby. He really enjoys it. I can remember years and years ago I did try and make it. Nothing like the shop bought packaged stuff that he actually likes the taste of. So I've never ever tried to make it again.
I like panettone as well at Christmas. That's a Christmas sort of treat.
Yeah, and when you bake them, you do have to put like a skewer or something through the bottom, and you have to hang them upside down.
What's that?
From the ceiling. Panettone.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Like we don't realise how much goes into it, but you have to hang them upside down. If not, they just totally collapse, and that's how they stay so lovely and long. Yeah, so it's airy. Yeah, a long process, and there's lots of bakeries where they have stuff up on the ceiling, so they can do that at Christmas if it's something that they actually do.
Wow.
So I didn't realise until last year, and I suddenly thought that's another thing I can't be bothered to make. I'll just buy. I know somewhere where they do gluten-free ones, so I'll just buy the gluten-free ones from there.
We've got a gluten-free panettone this year.
Yes. Did I think? Did you have it last year?
I don't know. I didn't work there last year.
I think I bought it last year.
Oh, okay.
It was lovely.
We've expanded on our range of mince pies this year as well. We've got 3 different types of gluten-free ones, I think.
I'll be going in. I had a little bit of an experience yesterday. For anybody who's gluten-free, the one thing that you really, really miss normally is crumpets. Okay. And there's two different types out there, and there's one type that are lovely, and they're Warburtons, and they are only normally in one supermarket. So I went to said supermarket. I'm not going to mention any names because it's not about the name, but I queued up with my mum. 20 odd minutes. There were two tills open, one at that side of the store, one at this side of the store, and I'm here. So 20 minutes I'm queuing. And then the fella in front of me got to the end of the till, and then the security guard just came up and slammed the till is closing down and waltzed off. Not a comment about we're opening another till, not like we're going to change it. And I'm just stood there. And this is how you've seen how I throw my wool if it doesn't go to plan. So I looked left and right, and my mouth was, I nearly hit the floor. And I went, thankfully, my mum was with me. And I went, I just don't believe that. She said, what's just happened? I said, well, it's just shut the till in front of me. And the people behind me said, is there not another till? I went, no. And if you think I'm queuing again, you can think again. So I threw my trolley like that, and I waltzed out. And there was loads of like ice cream and those beautiful little frozen gluten-free apple pies that I love. There was all sorts in there. And I flew out the store, and as I was going out, I did explain to a poor young lady, probably a little bit emphatically, why I was leaving the store. And then when I got home, I tried to ring the store, but you can't get through on the phone. So then I had to send an email. And I just said, if somebody's not trained in customer service and how to speak to customers, don't put them anywhere near customers, because that totally incensed me and every single person behind us. And I will never, never, never shop in your store again. So I was absolutely appalled. I then went into two supermarkets afterwards. No issues whatsoever. So I'm sorry, but I did throw my trolley towards the end of an aisle, and I left my stuff, and I thought, I am not spending 100 quid here of my, well, you know, good money when you can't be bothered to even give me a till. So I was fuming, absolutely fuming. And I do not do those self-service things. I do not. I'll do it if I've got one or two items. But no, if you gave me 5p off per item, I'd do that. But no, I will go through and be served. So sorry, that's me off my phone. Box now.
We have a local supermarket that's doing a big refit. It's going to take them 3 weeks in the middle of a pandemic, just before Christmas. I wanted 4 items. I had to ask where all 4 items were. At one stage, I had 3 members of staff looking for 1 item because they didn't know where it was. And I said, and then when I said at the checkout about it, she said, oh, we've waited 3 years for this. So I said, yeah, but isn't it a bit silly just to do it at this time of year in the middle of a pandemic? And I said, and I totally understand you protecting yourself. I said, but what happens if my husband, because Richard had his guide dog with him, was to come down on his own? Would you help him? Oh, no, we can't in the middle of a pandemic. So I said, well, he's stuck then, isn't he? Go to another well-known supermarket where somebody we very much know and love works, they'd help him.
Yeah, I know.
Not trying to defend that supermarket, but because supermarkets are one of the only bits of the retail industry that are actually still taking money to gain from the tax relief that the government has put in for this year, they can't actually make profit. So that's why they're forcing through all these refits and stuff. And because the construction industry has lost so much money, they've slashed their rates enough for them to be able to afford to do it. I get the timing isn't brilliant, but it's not December. December would be an absolute no-no. And they probably can't get them in January. So I'm not defending them in the slightest.
No, thank you for that.
That's the reverse side of what's happened. Yeah. Customer service should always be customer service, not defending the lack of customer service in either of your experiences. But we've got to we've got to be careful with our money.
No, I didn't know that. So that's a really, really good way.
But there
to
wasn't
explain.
even a sign up outside saying, apologies if you can't find what you want. We're doing a massive refit. But
Absolutely, completely don't defend that at all, Marion. Not in the slightest.
And this is really quite an important little point, but I know that when I've got my mum with me, she's got the blue badge. So we pulled into the big supermarket near her, and there was a guy getting into his car, and he said, don't walk all the way round, because you used one set of doors in and another set of doors out. He said, go in through the exit into the food hall, and that's fine. If you've got a disabled badge, just take a photo of your badge and walk in through there. So often the management in stores aren't aware of it, and it's actually him who's spoken to the management in there and said, you know what, we never even thought of that. So then they put a sign up to say, if you're disabled, please just use this exit to come in, so you don't have to walk as far. So sometimes if we have a chat with the management rather than the staff, because they can't make the store decisions, they might be able to make that adaptation for you. Because I know the one up in Pudsey was horrified when they realised that they were forcing people with disabilities to go the long way round. So they sorted it really quickly. So maybe if you have a chat, then they might put a couple of members of staff in to help people like Richard when he goes in, because they tend to be quite nice, the management. So not excusing what happened to me last night. I was just incensed. So never mind. But move on from that. We're back on to
I suppose shall we do a chat and then go to Facebook? Because it's quite a lot of chat.
I'm going to go back to where we left off. So we got to Trisha saying good morning. Dawn then said, I love ironing tea towels. Very satisfying putting a neat pile in the drawer.
Yes.
Rebecca says, morning. I tried to join on my phone and it did not work. I am now in my tidy knitting room. Ooh. Good morning, Rebecca. Joe says, Lou Reed has the most sublime voice. Rebecca says, Heather Small's voice is wonderful. Brigitte says, every Gogglefrogs day is a perfect day. Oh. Joe said, that song moved me to tears. I'm very emotional lately.
Oh, yeah. Big hugs, Joe. Big hug.
Deborah says, love the voice. Joe says, love Tom Jones. Dawn says, great song, but I always associate it with the film Trainspotting, a harrowing but necessary film. I've never watched it.
No, neither have I.
I have, but I can't really remember it that much, but it was weird.
Trisha loves it. Deborah says, at Joe likewise, but music often makes me at Joe likewise, but music often makes me emotional. Yeah, I think it depends on what it is for me. There's one song that always does. Two songs actually, but yeah. Rebecca says, yes, I agree, Angela. Joe's fame can be very fleeting. In terms of who was in the song. Georgie says that was lovely. Brigitte says, I brought the record at the time. Nowadays, I support Children in Need by getting my country file calendar for ourselves and our friends. Brigitte, this was the first CD single I ever bought when I was 17, I think. Joe sends a love heart to Deborah. Rebecca says, Marion, it was Sainsbury's for Children in Need. I think most of them try and do something.
Yeah.
Rebecca says, yes, I'm definitely impressed with the tidy room Deborah did. I have been ages and ages. Husband took a hand yesterday, and now I'm working through a stack of magazines. Oh dear. Georgie says, love Stollen. Trisha says, anything with marzipan. Brigitte says, I only ever like the Stollen my Mutti made. Oh, I hope you have the recipe.
Yeah.
Tried it yourself. Joe says, is now the best time to admit I'm already on my 4th box of mince pies. I daren't start on Stollen. You can quite happily confess to that, Joe. Gary's probably on his 7th or 8th box.
We go around the supermarket and try every one until we decide which one we like the best, by which time Christmas is over and we can't go back and get
And then the recipe the following year is never the same, so you have to do it all over again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rebecca laughs at Joe. Brigitte says, I second everything you said, Angela. Deborah says, good for you, Angela. Good manners cost nothing, as my nan used to say. Rebecca says, yes, Robert, I was just thinking they will be done before the massive Christmas shop happens. Mind you, they could alert people. Yes, that's what we said. Dawn says, I think it goes both ways. Customers should expect good manners and service in shops, but equally staff should be treated with respect. My Lizzie has had some awful experiences in the shop just for trying to help someone. Mutual respect.
Yeah,
I know. And you would think that because of the pandemic, people would be more supportive of shop workers. That's not what I've experienced at all.
no.
Not at all. But there you go. You can't please everybody, I guess. Louise says, that's good, Angela. Sainsbury's allowed my mother-in-law to dodge the one-way system when she only wanted the pharmacy. Yeah, that's
good
yeah.
of them.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
good.
they are actually very, very good. But I think from the store's perspective, they're trying to make sure it's genuine cases only. So just ask and they should help. But that's good to hear as well, that it's a little bit more widespread.
Right.
Oh, dear.
Rebecca says, I think some people are just rude, full stop, pandemic or not. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Dawn says, I've hidden all my Christmas buys in the understairs cupboards, but Adrian found the shortbread.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I have got Rington shortbread, but that is stashed away for Christmas because my aunt loves shortbread, and I thought I'm not going to risk Rington's running out of that. So Richard has not found that, and I'm not telling him where it is. Because theirs is very good, you know.
Brigitte says, Dawn, totally agree with you. I've actually made my opinion heard, rude customers. That's good of you, Brigitte.
Yeah.
Joe, shop staff are key workers. I always say bye and tell them to take care, have a good day, etc.
Absolutely.
Right, let's catch up on Facebook. Okay, so we have Linda saying, sorry, I can't be live, but we'll catch up later. Hi, Linda, for catch up later. Joe's posted, I finally finished the adult size mermaid tail sleep sack for my niece using our yarn cakes. Brackets never again. It's huge and hard to get pics, even when it's laid over a double bed. Pattern is Ariel from Not Youth Knitting. Let's just show that up. Oh, and wow.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
It really is.
Absolutely incredible.
I love the cable down the middle.
That is, isn't it?
And do you recognise the yarn?
Yeah, it's the Aldi yarn
that Brigitte used as well for the blanket.
Yes.
It's so different in the different patterns.
Yeah.
But beautiful in both. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, Deborah, thank you for this. But then no thank you for this. I'll explain why in a second. Went against the self-imposed yarn ban to buy this wool to knit my London Living Brother socks for Christmas. It's based on the London Underground colours. And I love this. And I took one look at it and closed it down. Then took a second look at it and thought, oh, I wonder where I could get that. Closed it down. Took a third look at it and I still really, really love it. So then found it on the internet. And by the time I'd looked at it 5 times, it's ended up on my Christmas list. So I've asked for 2 skeins of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it if I even get it, but just look at those beautiful colours and how well they go together. It's beautiful. So then Brigitte, finished Friday, blanket is done, the edging took forever. didn't help that I had to untwist the 2 colours every 30 stitches or so. Oh wow, well
Oh,
done.
that's amazing, Brigitte.
I
It's
really do
amazing,
like
and
it.
that edging is out of this world.
It is, isn't it?
It's a 2-colour edging.
Yeah, and I think she invented it as well. I don't think it's one that she found, and
Oh my word.
she had to twist it to as though it was stranded crochet to make it work. Wow, well
Wow,
done.
look at that.
Beautiful. Well done. I hope they appreciate it.
So do I.
I'm sure they will.
Linda has posted, here's the hat for Trish's charity, the Care Leavers Project. I love the colour, but I believe there's a colour restriction. I won't do the scarf until that's clarified. So maybe, Trisha, if you're on still, you could help with that if you haven't already. But I love that twist in that hat.
Beautiful.
Deborah, thank you for posting this. Love the new John Lewis Christmas advert. It's Waitrose as well. Tearjerker as always. Did you get to see it early, Robert? I got to see it at 6 o'clock yesterday morning when it went live on YouTube, and that was the first time I saw it. But yeah, very, very, very good advert. And I should just say there is merch as well. No cuddly toys this year, but there are bags, badges, T-shirts coming, and a lovely heart-shaped umbrella. That's also featured in the advert, and it was online yesterday morning when I was shopping anyway. Put one in my basket. By the time I'd finished my shopping, it was out of stock. Walked into work and we had 4 in yesterday morning, and we opened at 8 o'clock, and when I walked in at 9 o'clock they were still there, so I bought one, and then at the end of the day we still had 3 left. So the umbrellas are out there if you hunt around long enough. It's all I'm going to say. But if you haven't seen the advert, it is very good. It's about give a little love, and about passing on a little something to anybody for any reason. So Jo, welcome back. She says, sorry, I've been quiet for a long time. I've not had any treatment for a disability since March, and it's been challenging. Can't wait for the life of me. I can't for the life of me remember what time Gogglefrogs happens on a Saturday. Well, you're here, so welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hope you're okay. It's always 10 o'clock apart from a Wednesday, which is 8 o'clock in the evening.
At night.
Yes. Dawn says, on a roll, washing on, husband assigned ironing duties, dishwasher on a cleaning cycle, dog walked, exercise program done. At some point, I'll crash and fall asleep. Meanwhile, settling down for a bit of Gogglefrogging. And that was an hour ago. And her lovely playful scarf shawl in the background there. Deborah, done at last, worth it in the end, felt so much better. Now I know where everything is. And there's the pictures of her nice, tidy craft room. Well done.
Did you find any room, Deborah, to put more yarn? Now it's tidy, or were you still stacked to the gunnels?
People still commenting on the shawl that I shared the other day. So do jump in and get it if you like it. Linda's posted full set, and Alice says it's lovely and snuggly. So there is Alice wearing the jumper that she designed.
Bless her.
Still can't get over that. It is absolutely amazing. That's already been shared. More pictures of Deborah's craft room. Dawn, Free Pattern Friday, Christmas decorations. So do have a look at those if you'd like them. Deborah's taken a picture of her door hanger. Margaret shared this. Here's one to make you smile from a wonderful local fabric shop. So I think they've tried to upload some Gutermann threads, and it's come back as policy violations. Listings may not position products or services in a sexually suggestive manner. It's here. How on earth that is a sexually suggestive manner? But hey, who knows what the description says. Angela's mum knitting. How's she getting on with it, Angela?
She hasn't done any since.
Oh, okay.
But we will probably have an afternoon today.
I've shared a free pattern for some hedgehog mittens, which seems to have gone down quite well.
They're so cute, so cute.
I've put on here that I've finally caught up with uploading all of the previous episodes. So from 150 to 154, I've now
Well
all
done. Thank you so much, Robert. That's brilliant.
Dawn's Craft, when we saw it at the beginning of the week, that we've done. That we've just talked about. That we've done. So I think we're all caught up. If I've forgotten something, then please do shout, and I will do my best to go back to it.
So that is called Mind the Gap yarn.
Yeah, because it's based on the London Underground.
Yeah.
Mind the Gap.
Lovely. I like name for it.
Right.
I will not look.
It's gorgeous, honestly. I'll let you know what it's like if I get it. I say if I don't get it, I'm just going to buy it anyway. Which is generally what I do. I spend Boxing Day buying the stuff that I put on my Christmas list that I never got. Rebecca says, Joe, yes, I always say them to stay safe. I do worry about the number of people they have to deal with. Trisha says, we have a Ringtons van that comes around regularly. Should be due on Monday. We'll stock up on biscuits.
Ringtons van.
Yeah.
Brigitte says, that mermaid tail blanket looks amazing. And Marion's told Trisha that's a good idea to stock up. Joe says, I love the London Underground colours yarn, and then says that looks amazing, Brigitte. Louise says, I only looked once. I've ordered the Underground yarn. I will make socks for my daughter's birthday as she loves London and is missing our trips at the moment. Oh, how lovely. Trisha says that looks lovely. Just want plain colours, so that should be perfect. That's about the hat. Brigitte says change of colour after every stitch for the edging of the blanket, hence the arms twisted around each other. Deborah says, Robert, Mind the Gap yarn. Yes, it's even more lovely in real life. I've had it in mind for my brother for ages. It's on pre-order, so it takes a bit longer, but not too bad. And Joe says, a laughing face, sexually suggestive Gutermann threads. And then she says, loving the hedgehog mittens. Georgie says, snap, Robert. Deborah says, at Marion, I'm getting rid of some things I know I won't use, but I'm glad now all my yarn is packed away safely. My daughter had moths recently, which spurred me on, as it would have been my worst nightmare.
Yeah. I bought some cedar balls to go in my yarn boxes to keep away the little darlings.
Do they not like cedar?
There's cedar and camphor. I think that's right. Whatever they are, they're moth repellent. To keep them away. Even though they're in boxes and the boxes are sealed, they seem to be able to get anywhere and everywhere, don't they, for some reason? So
yeah,
they them about and in drawers and all over the place. So you can't be too careful. And when you think how much we pay for just a skein of yarn, it's worth spending out 10 or so odd pounds, isn't it, to get some repellent? Yeah. So
I'll have a look and get some.
I've already decided what I'm going to do with that Frogs a Goggle. I've got.
What's that?
Is it Frogs a Goggle? I've got.
Yeah. What do you do with it?
I've got the pattern. It's a lace border, and it's short row shaping in the middle, so it's a crescent shaped shawl, which is why I ordered a fair bit. But it's stocking stitch in the middle, so it'd be interesting to see how it comes up as stocking stitch and a lace.
I'm sure it will be beautiful.
Cross fingers.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, it's the only yarn I'll have, of which I know I'll have enough to do this particular shawl with. So yeah.
Perfect. I can't wait to see it. You know, Marion, she'll have it done in no time. And that's like you just finish things so quickly. And there's lots of you like that as well. And I just look and think, I started this a few days ago. That's what I've done. That's it.
Well, I must admit, I was surprised when I looked through pictures of what I'd done as to exactly how much I have managed to get done during this lockdown. And isn't it great? We're a week in, we're quarter in already. So
that's really good. Yeah, soon we're going to be 50% in, aren't we?
Yeah, 50% in.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's 11 o'clock.
Oh my heavens.
Can you believe it? Thank you so
No.
much. It has been lovely to see you, Marion. So thank you for coming on with us today.
So granddaughter will be here in a minute to take Ollie out. He won't want to go because it's raining. I think it's raining.
Oh,
For a Labrador, he doesn't like the wet.
Oh, bless. And Ollie is the biggest black Labrador you've ever seen in your life. He's lovely. Thank you so much, Robert. And I hope that you're going to have a lovely weekend off.
I'm going
both.
to
It's been a pleasure.
And I'm back on Monday. Marion, are you back on Monday?
It depends. I might.
Angela, are you back on Monday?
I'll be here on Monday. Yes, I'll be here.
Are you working on Tuesday, Robert?
No, day off on Tuesday.
Ooh, I'll join you one of those days because we like to go out for an hour or so's walk with Ollie. It's my only exercise.
Well,
apart from housework.
Everybody have a lovely weekend.
A wonderful weekend, one and all. Take care.
And see you on Monday at 10. You take care. Love you lots, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.